Welcome back to 405 Sports for another UFC update video. Conor McGregor will be the coach of The Ultimate Fighter versus Michael Chandler. Now, did we know this was happening? Yeah, I said it in the Izzy video about how, we thought that was going to be the announcement, but it ended up being Izzy versus Alex Pereira 2 for UFC 287, which is announced now in Miami. So I thought it was in Brooklyn, but it's actually in Miami. But Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor is confirmed for TUF. I'm so excited. I'm beyond excited. Conor McGregor was a great coach in his season against Uriah Faber. Everyone was saying he really was a good coach. So we'll see how the public reacts to Conor on this episode, on these episodes. I don't know. Might be a tad bit different, but you never know. I don't know how to feel. I feel excited. I like both of these guys. I'm definitely going to be rooting for McGregor. He's the one who got me into the sport back in 2015. So I'm very excited. I just hope the fight is good, and I don't want anyone to get hurt. In terms of an actual injury. But I just want a good fight, man. I think him and Michael Chandler's fireworks. They're gonna bring out the best of each other in TUF. It's just gonna be funny. I feel like it'll bring back the vibes of the Uriah Faber, where it was just kind of like Uriah was, or I guess Michael will be the Uriah, where he's just kind of this little cornball and not, he's not going to fall for all the McGregor stuff, and he's just going to laugh with McGregor and, just go right past it like it's nothing. And almost kind of not necessarily get in the head of McGregor, but kind of be like, doesn't really hurt my feelings, But Conor, I hope he's motivated. I hope he's ready to coach. Obviously these guys probably are just going to be handpicked by the UFC. There's not going to be much, it's not going to be like Team Europe against Team America and Conor will be coaching. But if he takes it serious, which I really hope he does, I just hope we get a good season, because the last two, the Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega and the Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena, they haven't been that good. Even the fights, man, the fights have been pretty lackluster. It just hasn't been the best. So hopefully, this season is full of good content from the coaches, which I guess the coaches did give good content with each other, but it wasn't it ramped up slowly. It was kind of and then it shot up. So I hope the coaches are kind of not necessarily into it. Chandler and McGregor not necessarily into it from the start, but I hope there is just a little bit of fun between each other. So, because you had to wait 7 episodes until Ortega got into it with Volk, it felt like. And Pena was kind of always poking at Nunes, but never enough to, ever do anything. But I am excited. I am very excited about this. This is major for the UFC. Again, does this come because Dana White did what he did in December at the New Year's party? Yeah, probably so. Brendan Schaub was probably right about that. He's, they're announcing all these big things, and it's coming at a weird time that Dana, is dealing with some drama, but I haven't heard about the drama in a good 2 weeks, so kind of funny how that works. But I don't know, man. I just had to get on here and make a video. He announced 87 is going to be in Miami. He announced Sugar Sean signed an 8-fight deal. And we already knew John Jones had signed an 8-fight deal. So we know Sugar Sean's going to be there for a while. That's great to know. I hope he got all his money's worth. He deserves every cent. But the UFC 2023, it's going to be a great year. I hope most of these fights go through. Obviously, I hope all of them go through. But it just doesn't work like that. Not every fight follows through, and which is the sucky part of this sport, is that you do have to see people pull out of fights. But I hope everything goes through smoothly. I hope Conor and Michael go through smoothly. Hope they get their fight. And 2023 for the UFC is a great, great year. 2022 was a good year. 2021 was a good year. In my opinion, you can disagree. You can say those were terrible years. I don't care. I just hope that, all these fights come to fruition and we just have great fights beyond great fights. And I guess lastly, I really just want this TUF season to be good. I hope it actually grows the popularity of the UFC, because a lot of people say that the UFC has already peaked, and I really hope that's not true. And I think this year is a proving year to be it's got a little bit more going for it. So we'll see. Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler for Tough. Sugar Sean signed an 8-fight deal. We still got Leon and Usman 3. Rafael Fiziev, Justin Gaethje. John Jones, Cyril Gane. Shevchenko, Grasso. Corey Sandhagen versus Cheeto was moved to San Antonio. I think I'm going to go to that event. I really wasn't looking like I was going. Well, at first I was like, oh my gosh, the first fight announced for it, well, by sources, was Sean Brady versus Michelle Pereira. And I was like, oh, that's a good fight. And then they were going to say Raquel Pennington versus Aldana was going to be the main event. And I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to go to that just because, their first fight wasn't anything crazy. I don't feel like this one was going to be. But that is going to be the co-main. But Cheeto versus Corey is going to be there as a main event. And that is so worthy of being the main event in San Antonio. There was no reason to have that fight in the Apex. Absolutely none. And I'm excited because Talia Santos versus Aaron Branchfield is going to be a 5-round main event, which I'm actually excited for. Those guys, like Shevchenko was pushed by Santos, and Branchfield, what she just did to Molly McCann, whew. But yeah, what Branchfield did to Molly McCann was absolutely disgusting at UFC 281. So I'm excited for those two to actually have the main event slot at the Apex. I honestly like that women's main event. Like if that one was in San Antonio, I wouldn't mind it as much because I think those two are the futures. If she can, even if she can go back up to 30, or even if she can just go up to 35, I really feel like she can be the second woman to do it. So I don't know. I like Aaron Branchfield in that fight, but Corey Sandhagen, Cheeto Vera, San Antonio, all the other fights we have going on. Now Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler and Tough. So the UFC is on top for 2023. Thank you guys for watching. This is 405 Sports. Peace.